All right, welcome to this self-reflection session. Now it's a beautiful day. Every day above ground is a beautiful day. And what we're gonna do here is take about 45 minutes to an hour, and we're just going to think primarily and also write about our lives based on answering questions that I'll pose. And they're all meant to get you to think just a little deeper about your life, the direction where you want to go, who you are, so that you can make better decisions moving forward, right? Life is just full of decisions. So what you want to do is just make right decisions over and over and over again, right? You want your mind to be kind of this quantum level processor that can absorb information and put it through your brain and then make the right decisions, right? Using the insights that you've drawn from the data. But that first happens. The first kind of step for this is to empty our mind so that we can absorb information around us. And so, like every self-reflection session, we're going to start with 5 minutes and we're just going to breathe. We are just going to breathe. I'm a little excited today. I was just finished listening to Lady Gaga on vinyl, The Fame. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to dance, baby. Let's take this day on. So we're gonna take 5 minutes and breathe. Settle down. All right, 5 minutes. Just gonna breathe in and breathe out. And we don't want to dwell on any thoughts. We're going to have thoughts. They are going to come up. What we want to do is just acknowledge them and move on. Let them pass. Beautiful. Now, let's get our notebooks out, or if you're choosing to use a computer, that's fine too. The main thing is that we just want to think, reflect. And we're going to start with the question that we should always ask ourselves. It's a great one to start with. What are we grateful for? Let's take some time and just think about it. There's so many things to be grateful for. Infinite, right? And if you're struggling to think of things that you are grateful for, it's an indication that the world you're experiencing is centered and filtered through you. Not even necessarily filtered. If you're having difficulty coming up with things to be grateful for, it's an indication that the world you're experiencing centers around you, rather than you being a part in the world, right? And that's something we want to address through these sessions, is that the world doesn't revolve around us. We are a part of the world, right? And we're very interconnected, and everybody has a role. We're all doing our roles. What we want to do is individually be the best we can be, so that it elevates the people and experiences around us. What are you grateful for? All right, hopefully that gave you some time to think about what you're grateful for. We could think about this question all day because there are infinite things to be grateful for, but let's pause there. This next question: what would you do with more free time? What would you do? How would you spend the time if you had more openness in your schedule, in a way? What would you do if you had more free time, where you're not trading your time to be compensated monetarily? Right? Write about that. Think about that. I was thinking this last weekend how there's so much energy on the weekends. There's just like so much energy around, right? And why is that? Why is it? I think it has to do with just everybody's kind of aligned in a way where schedule-wise, but also mindset-wise, right? Like everybody just worked 5 days and now we have 2 days to ourselves, right? And it creates this energy that the weekdays don't have. Isn't that interesting? And could you apply that concept of energy and alignment to other things as well, right? With ideas, right? If everybody kind of all agrees on these ideas, it should create this energy, right? But if everybody's spread out and sporadic, then the energy isn't quite aligned or as great, right? Something I do is observe society and the values of society, and then I try to invert it. So like if everybody's working 5 days a week to get 2 days for themselves, what if I switch it and work 2 days a week to get 5 days for myself? That's kind of how my mind operates and kind of looks at is this idea of Moneyball. If everybody's doing this, what if you do that, right? And right now I'm at like 3 days a week, 3 days a week to get 4 to myself. And then during that time, I just work on my things. My goal is what I've been working on for years now, is creating digital assets for myself that I can then capitalize on, where there's no limit, right? Whereas if you work salary, what people don't tell you about working salary is that you don't clock out. It's always on your mind. Salary, you're trading like almost like an unlimited amount of time for a specific amount of money, right? Whereas what I observe and what I do is I work a shift and then I clock out and then I'm done. Like it's off my mind. Work is off my mind. If you work salary, work is always on your mind. So you better love your work, or it might create a miserable experience for you. It's something that's not talked about. So getting back to free time, right? What would you do with more free time? There are advantages in kind of the opposite and different framework of mindset. But you have to be willing to be fearless. You have to be willing to have courage and confidence in yourself and your abilities. So I often work on weekends, but then I have the weekdays free. There's less energy on the weekdays, but I can, like today I just booked a flight from Sunday to Friday in New York, right? So I can then just work on the weekends and then go fly to New York and then just work again on the weekends. Again, at like 2 to 5, right? I'm going to be in New York for 5 days, and then I'm going to come back and work 2 days. That's how that week looks like. But it's using all the knowledge that we've built up through reflection and experience, and the willingness to take risks. So what would you do with more free time? How would you spend your time? Yeah. What do you do with more free time? Society provides a script of, if you follow this script, generally you'll be safe, right? Society presents a script to follow that will provide kind of a safe, secure life, right? But that doesn't mean that it's best for you individually, right? That's why we take the time to think and write, reflect on our lives. Like, who are we? Because the better you understand yourself, the better you know how to optimize your life and live best for you, right? Living with society's script can be inefficient for you individually. But you have to have the courage and confidence in yourself, and that comes with this. Reflection, writing. You do this, right? The more you know about yourself, the better you're able to live life. And then every decision you make moving forward is more aligned with your mind and what you want and what you envision for your life. You're not trading your time for limits, in a way, limitations, like a threshold. You're more unlimited. Isn't that something we all want, more free time? But often we're not encouraged or taught the things that can help lead us to that more free time. And then we have to battle our just kind of impulses based on how we're biologically wired, right? To do what's less difficult. Something that's easier, right? Something that satisfies the now. Like this right here, just taking 45 minutes to an hour out of your day is not going to change your life dramatically in the next week. So it can be hard for some to invest their time in that because you're not getting an immediate result. But then what happens after you do that for 3 months, for 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, right? For me, this has been over 5 years. You're just operating on a different level and you see things that others don't see. You can live very efficiently, very optimized according to your vision of life. Again, you have to be willing to take risks, willing to step out of the norm, right? You know the whole script of society and what you're supposed to do and the jobs you're supposed to attain and the titles and things like that. Sometimes you got to take a different path. And it's not to say that it's wrong to choose what's easier or expressed to you as how to live. It's fine. But if you want to maximize your life, if you want to live your best life possible, you're going to have to take a different path. And it's uncomfortable. And you have to commit to it because there's going to be some tough times, some real dark times. But the journey will be more rewarding. Okay, what is the next question? Think about your favorite music. Who is it? What band or artist? Who is it and why? What about that? What about that sound? What about the lyrics? What makes it your favorite? And if you're one of those people who says they listen to everything and it all depends on my mood, well, then pick a few. But generally, you're going to know some that stand out. Who would be meaningful to attend their concert or see them perform live, that you like them so much you are motivated to go experience that? Something I notice is you can find patterns in music fans. So say you go to a show this is something I do. I go to shows, even shows that I don't know their music or I'm not a fan of the band or whatever. I'll go and observe the demographics of the crowd. And that to me alone is interesting. You can see the ages, you can see what people are wearing, you can see how people express themselves. And then from that, from the crowd alone, you're able to then incite or conclude, deduce what kind of music the band plays. There's like this natural kind of relationship between the artist and the audience, the listener. And some type of music appeals to certain groups, right? It can be applied with every single artist, I've noticed. Or as well, like if you go to a show of someone you really love, doesn't it feel like you're a part of something a little bigger than yourself? And there's almost like this community and trust. If all these people, or if this person right next to me loves this band, this performer that we're watching together, I trust them because we have the same taste in music. Like I think about that for me, like Beatles fans. I can get along with anybody who's a Beatles fan, no matter what age, no matter wherever they are. It doesn't matter. For me, I listen to a lot of like upbeat, kind of dancey, poppy songs. It's kind of groovy, disco-y, new disco, French house. A lot of Australian. There's this band called Miami Horror, and that was probably the show. This is back in 2019 I went to. That was probably the show where I looked around and I'm like, whoa, everybody's like me. everybody's in high spirits, dancing. It's just like, it's so funny. Because music has this ability to bring people together that other things, and I would say other art forms too, can't really do as easily. So I want you to think about the music you listen to, the bands. What does that say about you? You know, there's a difference between fans of Black Sabbath versus Oasis versus The Killers versus Lady Gaga, Olivia Rodrigo, name any artist, right? So what are the characteristics? Think about the characteristics. You're identifying with the music, with the individuals oftentimes. And that image, you're identifying with that image. You feel like they are you in a way, and they're expressing your own thoughts about the world and life. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty remarkable just that how music is able to do that. Because everybody loves music. Who doesn't love music? Right? This next question, what's something you appreciate? It's a little different than what we're grateful for, but like someone or something you just appreciate. I appreciate you, you know? I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your work. I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to do some reflecting, asking yourself questions, taking time to put thought into them and come up with an answer or a direction that can be helpful for you. What's something you're proud that you're doing because you know and understand it will help your overall vision, the execution of your vision of what you're trying to do. So what are some small, it doesn't have to be small, what are you proud that you're doing because you know it will lead to bigger things and will allow you to enjoy the fruits of your vision later? That can be a difficult thing, can't it? Doing smaller things because you know you have to do it in order to be here later, right? Details. What are you proud that you're doing right now because you know it will lead to bigger things? Maybe it's something you don't like doing, but you're doing it anyways because you know that this is what it takes. Other than this reflection session, of course. for this next question, and our last question, we'll give some more time for this one. This last question, what is your life like right now? Do you enjoy it? Are you proud of it? Are you frustrated with it? What's going on that you're excited about? Is that the thing you're excited about? Is it in alignment of the direction you want to be going? Generally, how's your life right now? How's your life right now? Think about that. Write about that. And think of it on a binary scale. 1 or 0. Yes or no? Maybe it's bad to think about life that way. I'm saying it doesn't mean it's permanent at all. What I'm saying is, like, right now, yes or no? Are you on the right track? What's your life like? You fill in the blanks. No right or wrong answer. We're always trying to get better, right? We know that. But what kind of state is your life in right now? Are you at the beginning of this journey? Are you in the middle of it? Maybe you're at the end of one particular chapter and transitioning into kind of a new beginning. That's kind of where I am, I would say, is the last chapter of my life kind of has closed for the most part, and now I'm creating a new beginning, a new chapter. And that can be interesting, right? You're starting at the beginning again. So everything is fresh. Everything is right in front of you. It can be whatever you want it to be, right? It's not like the previous chapter where you're kind of coming to a close, where all these different decisions and everything you've done have led to that kind of ending. Now it's like that all happened and now it's new again. Limitless opportunities and potential possibilities. But yeah, we're all at different points. Everybody in the world is at different points of their life. And it's important, though, to take stock of where you are. What's going on? Are we headed in the right direction? If not, what do we need to do to correct it, to go in the right direction? All right. Beautiful. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to do this for yourself. Most people don't do it. But if you want to live a better life, if you want to be your best self, you need to take the time and think about your life and aspects of your life. And through this, the accumulation is going to add up into something beautiful. I guarantee it. Trust me. All these little things, all this time, being thoughtful, being intentional, understanding the interconnectedness of the world and our communities and the relationships we have and every action we take. It's really important, and you're on the right track. You're going in the right direction. I'm proud of you. Have a great week.